Drama is already brewing before the cameras even roll, and fans can feel the tension rising in the sister wives world. One of the stars has finally admitted she's done holding her tongue, boldly declaring that the upcoming season 20 won't be filled with the same old silence and avoidance. Instead, she's promising raw honesty, emotional fireworks, and hard conversations that could shake the Brown family dynamic to its very core. With her powerful vow of "I won't be," fans are left buzzing with anticipation, wondering what secrets will spill, what truths will be confronted, and who will crumble under the weight of long-buried conflicts. Season 20 is shaping up to be the most explosive chapter yet, and it's clear this sister wife is ready to set the record straight, no matter the cost. For years, Sister Wives has captivated audiences with its complicated portrayal of polygamy, family loyalty, spiritual conflict, and raw human drama that unfolded in ways no one could have predicted when the show first premiered in 2010. Now, with season 20 looming on the horizon, the excitement has reached a fever pitch after a recent revelation from one of the stars who boldly declared that there will be no more silence. In a statement that has already rippled through the fandom, the cast member hinted that this new chapter will be unlike anything viewers have seen before, a season filled with raw emotions, hard conversations, and shocking moments that fans won't be able to forget. This promise of transparency has set the internet ablaze, with fans dissecting every word and speculating what exactly will come to light when the cameras roll once again. The heart of Sister Wives' enduring popularity lies the dynamic between Kody Brown and his four wives, Christine, Mary, Janelle, and Robin. The show began as a rare window into the life of a polygamous family trying to navigate a world that does not always accept their way of life. Over time, though, the narrative shifted from one of unity to one of fracture, as deep cracks appeared in the marriages, especially between Kody and his first three wives. Christine stunned audiences when she announced she was leaving the plural marriage in 2021, a decision that marked the beginning of the unraveling that followed. Janelle and Mary eventually made their own exits, leaving Kody with only Robin by his side. The once expansive family that had been united under one patriarch became a splintered group of individuals, each seeking to reclaim their identity and happiness outside the shadow of plural marriage. Yet, despite all that has already been shown, season 20 promises to pull back the curtain even further. The vow of no more silence suggests that unresolved pain, hidden resentment, and unspoken truths are finally going to be dragged out into the open. For fans who have long felt that certain moments in the Brown family history were glossed over or minimized, the possibility that the stars are ready to speak candidly is nothing short of electrifying. Reality television thrives on authenticity, and audiences can sense when stories are being held back. The notion that this upcoming season will feature hard, perhaps brutal conversations about betrayal, favoritism, abandonment, and the consequences of Kody's choices means that the show is heading into territory that may redefine its legacy. Christine Brown, who has become something of a fan favorite since leaving the marriage, has been especially vocal about her past struggles and her journey to self-discovery. She has spoken openly about the loneliness she endured, the lack of intimacy, and the overwhelming feeling that she was no longer valued in the family structure. Fans have admired her strength, cheering her on as she built a new life and eventually found love again with her new husband, David Woolley. Yet, even Christine has suggested there are things left unsaid, layers of pain that the cameras only hinted at. Could season 20 finally give her the platform to say what she has been holding back? If so, it will likely leave viewers stunned and perhaps even shift public perception of the Brown family once again. Mary Brown, too, has been at the center of speculation. For years, she endured being Kody's first wife but also his most distant partner. Their relationship famously imploded after the catfishing scandal, and though they tried to repair things, Kody admitted multiple times that he no longer had any romantic connection with her. Mary, however, remained publicly loyal for a long time, even as fans criticized Kody's dismissive treatment of her. The idea that Mary might now finally break her silence and speak about what she truly endured has fans buzzing with anticipation. Could she be ready to reveal the emotional toll of years of rejection? Could she speak about the way her loyalty was sometimes weaponized against her? If Mary decides to open up fully in season 20, it will be one of the most explosive moments in the show's history. Janelle Brown's role in the upcoming season is also of great interest. Known for her practical and often level-headed approach, Janelle has always been a steady presence within the family. However, her falling out with Cody during the COVID-19 years revealed another side of her, a woman who was no longer willing to be dismissed or controlled. She has since made it clear that she values her independence and refuses to return to a situation where her voice is silenced. The thought of Janelle joining in these hard conversations adds even more intensity to what is already shaping up to be a volatile season. Fans want to hear how she truly feels about the years she spent in a relationship that may have never given her the love and recognition she deserved. And then there is Robin, the wife who has long been seen by viewers as Cody's favorite. Her arrival in the family marked a turning point that many fans believe set off the chain of fractures that ultimately destroyed the plural marriage. While Robin has often portrayed herself as the peacemaker, critics argue that she has benefited the most from the dysfunction, enjoying monogamy in practice while the other wives withered under neglect. If this season really forces hard conversations, then Robin may finally face the accusations head-on. Will she acknowledge the role she played in creating an environment where the other wives felt unloved and unwanted? Will she admit to being the favorite, or will she continue to deflect? These are the questions fans are demanding answers to, and the answers could change everything about how the audience perceives her. The center of it all is Cody Brown himself. For years, Cody has been a polarizing figure, a man who at times seemed devoted to his family and at other times consumed by ego and control. His harsh words toward Christine, his dismissive treatment of Mary, and his explosive arguments with Janelle have all been captured on camera, but many believe we have not yet seen the full story. Cody has often positioned himself as the misunderstood patriarch, the victim of rebellious wives who no longer wanted to follow the rules of their faith. The broader cultural significance of Sister Wives cannot be ignored either. Over the years, the show has shifted from being a documentary-style exploration of polygamy to a raw family drama that resonates with audiences who may not share the same beliefs but who understand the pain of broken relationships, favoritism, and betrayal. In promising no more silence, the stars are essentially acknowledging what audiences have always wanted: authenticity, vulnerability, and the courage to confront painful truths. It is not just about the Browns anymore. It is about the universal struggle of families dealing with conflict, loyalty, and the search for happiness. The fandom itself has played a major role in keeping the show alive. Online communities dissect every episode, analyze body language, and debate the motives of each family member. The news that the upcoming season will feature explosive confrontations has reignited those conversations, with speculation running rampant about which secrets will finally be revealed. Will there be confessions about financial struggles that were hidden from the cameras? Will there be revelations about private conversations that shaped the family's collapse? Will there be acknowledgments of favoritism so blatant that even Robin cannot deny them? The anticipation is building, and fans are preparing themselves for a season that may leave them more shocked than ever before. As season 20 approaches, the phrase "no more silence" feels like both a promise and a warning. For the stars of Sister Wives, it is a chance to reclaim their voices and tell their truths. For the audience, it is the assurance that what they are about to see will not be the carefully curated storylines of past seasons but a raw, unfiltered look at the reality of what happened when a once-celebrated plural marriage fell apart. The explosive nature of what lies ahead is not just about drama for television but about the catharsis of finally saying out loud what has been buried for years. What makes this moment so profound is that fans are not just watching a television show anymore. They are witnessing the real-time unraveling of a family that once seemed unbreakable. The Browns have become cultural touchstones, symbols of both the allure and the pitfalls of alternative lifestyles. In choosing to break the silence, they are also choosing to risk the last shreds of privacy they may have. But perhaps that is the only way forward, the only way to finally close one chapter and begin another. Season 20 of Sister Wives will not just be another installment in a long-running series. If the stars stay true to their promise, it will be the season that changes everything, the season that defines the legacy of the show and determines how the Brown family will be remembered for years to come. Explosive, emotional, and brutally honest, it is set to be the kind of television that people will not only watch but also talk about, dissect, and remember long after the cameras stop rolling. Here's the full-length big news article you asked for, written in narrative prose without using points or bullet formatting, and expanded to roughly 5,000 words. The Sister Wives world has always been turbulent, but if recent words from one of the stars are anything to go by, the storm clouds gathering over season May 20th turn into a hurricane that could leave the Brown family in ruins once and for all. A warning has been sounded that the upcoming season will not only feature conversations more raw and painful than anything ever captured before, but that these talks could, in fact, be so brutal they might spell the end of everything fans have come to know about the series. Sister Wives has never shied away from showing the fractures within its unconventional family unit, but never before has the threat of complete collapse loomed this heavily. When Sister Wives premiered back in 2010, the narrative was one of togetherness and conviction. Kody Brown, his wives Mary, Janelle, Christine, and eventually Robin, presented their plural marriage as a lifestyle deeply rooted in faith and spiritual calling. The series was framed as a brave attempt to normalize polygamy in a world that did not understand it, offering a rare glimpse into the challenges and rewards of living in such a unique structure. Over the years, however, the cracks began to widen, and those cracks became chasms impossible to repair. Viewers watched as tension, jealousy, and resentment took over the once idealistic family vision. Christine's dramatic departure in 2021 was the moment when the fairy tale completely crumbled. After years of voicing dissatisfaction with the lack of intimacy, respect, and emotional support in her marriage to Kody, she finally walked away, shattering the illusion of harmony and sparking a chain reaction that would alter the course of the family forever. Janelle and Mary eventually followed, leaving Kody clinging only to Robin. With every wife who exited, the truth about the dysfunction within the marriage structure became harder to ignore. Fans who had once marveled at how the Browns made plural marriage work now found themselves immersed in the unraveling of a dream that had been sold for more than a decade. Now, season 20 looms, and the words "brutal conversations" hang over it like a warning sign. The star who sounded this alarm made it clear that nothing will be sugar-coated this time. For years, there have been accusations that certain truths were softened for the cameras, that the show's producers shielded viewers from the full force of the dysfunction to maintain some semblance of balance. But the declaration that silence is over and that this season could feature talks so intense they might end it all suggests that whatever protective barrier once existed has been stripped away. This is not just about family disagreements anymore. It is about reckoning with years of bitterness, favoritism, betrayal, and disillusionment. The heart of the brutality lies in what has been left unsaid until now. Christine has spoken about the loneliness of her marriage, but she has hinted that there is more to the story, more that viewers never saw. She endured years of rejection, endured being pushed aside in favor of Robin, endured the humiliation of knowing her needs and feelings were not a priority. The season 20 is the time when she finally unleashes the full weight of her experience. Then audiences should prepare themselves for revelations that will make past arguments look tame. For Christine, this is not about revenge but about truth-telling, about finally closing a chapter of her life with full honesty. Yet such honesty could easily scorch the remains of her relationship with Kody, and perhaps even with Robin. Mary's potential to transform the season is equally significant. For so long she was portrayed as the loyal first wife, hanging on despite rejection, betrayal, and public humiliation. Her relationship with Kody deteriorated long before Christine left, yet she stayed, clinging to the idea that loyalty was more important than happiness. In the last few years, however, Mary has found her voice, slowly stepping into independence and beginning to build a life away from Kody's shadow. If she chooses to join these brutal conversations, Mary could finally open up about how deeply the catfishing scandal broke her, how damaging Cody's indifference was, and how exhausting it felt to always be seen as a problem rather than a partner. Such words could not only end any chance of reconciliation but could permanently redefine how fans view the history of the Brown family. Janelle's pragmatism has always made her a steady figure in the series. She managed to coexist with the chaos for years by focusing on raising her children, working, and carving out independence even within the family unit. But Janelle's cracks began to show during the COVID-19 disputes, when Cody's rules and rigidity clashed with her desire to maintain a sense of freedom and fairness. Their falling out was one of the clearest signs that Cody's vision of polygamy was no longer sustainable. Janelle steps into season 20 ready to speak her full truth. She may expose how much resentment she carried beneath her calm exterior. Her revelations could be brutal in their own way, not fueled by rage but by the cold, sharp clarity of a woman who has spent years analyzing the dysfunction from within. And then comes Robin, the lightning rod of controversy since her introduction to the family. For years, viewers have accused Cody of favoritism, of neglecting his other wives to build a life almost indistinguishable from monogamy with Robin. While Robin has often positioned herself as the peacemaker, fans have increasingly viewed her as the wedge that drove the family apart. Season May 20th finally forced Robin to confront the accusations directly. If she is pressed to acknowledge the role she played, her responses could either soften her image or solidify her as the villain of the story. But the brutality of these talks could also fracture her marriage to Cody, because defending her position may require her to admit that his behavior toward the other wives was unfair and damaging. Such an admission would not only expose Cody's flaws but also reveal how complicit Robin may have been in the breakdown of the family. The center of this storm stands Cody Brown himself, a man who once presented himself as a spiritual leader and loving patriarch but who has increasingly been portrayed as controlling, dismissive, and self-centered. Season 20 could be the season where his defenses finally collapse. Brutal conversations are never easy for those in power, because they often mean being forced to hear uncomfortable truths. Christine, Mary, and Janelle all speak their truths openly. Cody may be backed into a corner where denial is no longer an option. His legacy, his reputation, and even his future with Robin could all hang in the balance depending on how he responds. If he lashes out, it could destroy what little credibility he has left. If he admits fault, it could be a rare moment of redemption. Either way, it promises to be unforgettable. The suggestion that these conversations could end it all is what has fans on edge. What does end it all mean in this context? Could it mean the complete end of the show itself, that the Browns have reached a breaking point so final that continuing to film would feel dishonest?